Well, hello, welcome to my channel. Well, guess what? It's Christmas time, so I like to think of it as the craftiest time of the year because it is a time where, I go haywire, making things, decorating, and all that kind of thing. If you are like me, you'll enjoy this video series that I'm about to start. So for the next probably 2 weeks, I'll be making all the DIYs that I want to make. I usually make some new DIYs, and then I usually decorate several areas of my house, and I'll do a home tour at the end. So for starters, I just wanted to give you a little sense of kind of what my plan is for this year. Usually my concept and theme, I don't change it. One thing about Christmas, I tend to be a little traditionalist about it. So, and I love Winter Wonderland, I love snow. So a lot of the things that I usually do are kind of a snowy, icy kind of look. But the fun thing with that is you could go many different routes, right? You could make it really glammy and put some metallics with it. Or you could make it very rustic and put a lot of raw woods and things like that. And in some areas, I kind of change it up. And I'll share with you as we go. But anyway, for starters, let me just talk about that general concept. So usually my big tree is in the family room. And in the family room, I usually have been doing, more like a white and gold. And then my accent color has been like this teal color because, I like teal. Can you tell? I like teal. So this year I decided to go a little bit bolder, and I decided to paint my wall teal. So I'll be sharing with you that process. I always wanted to get this really dark teal, but kind of through compromises with my husband, I ended up with a light blue. I'm not a light blue kind of person. I don't mind a combination, but I really wanted a dark teal. So that is the goal, to make that wall dark teal. And then it'll be a beautiful backdrop to a very nicely lit tree with some flocking. My tree is not as heavily flocked as I wish it was. It has some flocking on it, but it's mostly green with kind of heavy flocks all around. We'll take a look in a sec. But anyway, but just to change it up, and since I've been in this kind of dark and moody kind of vibe, and has some leftover black velvet ribbon, I thought it would be fun to do more black velvet ribbon on the tree, as well maybe another color. I was looking for like jewel tones. I wasn't able to find a whole lot of that readily and not super expensive because, velvet ribbon can be very expensive. But I did get lucky. I did find a tool of black velvet ribbon from Walmart. And then in a different Walmart, I found a gold velvet ribbon. The black one is about 1.5 inches, and the gold one must be a good 3 inches wide. So it makes quite a statement. So I thought, okay, we'll just stick it to black and gold, and that will help. And then to go with the dark and moody / dark academia thing I've been doing, I had this thought, wouldn't it be nice to put sheet music on the tree? And I have a vision about how I want it to be. We'll see how it plays out. But so I did want to get some sheet music. Plus also I know you can get a lot of it online and just print it out on your printer. But I wanted like the real kind of sheet music. So I'll share with you some of the things I found. So that's the plan. The plan is going to be for the family room to have a black and gold as the main color scheme. Of course, the tree is white. And then I'll try to intersperse some of that black in the family room area. Maybe I'll put some of it in the mantle as well. But the other thing that's happening is in the mantle, I usually don't have my TV up there. I took my TV down. I never actually put it there for very long. But I'm thinking of putting it back. But I don't want to just put a TV over the fireplace. I want to build a cabinet that can actually open and close. So when it's closed, you don't see the TV, and then I can actually, if I feel like just putting a wreath, I could put a wreath on top of that, and then I can still make it open. So it'll be like a bifold kind of thing. So that's coming up. Be on the lookout for that. And the first thing is for my hubby to put the TV, and he's doing that right now. So that should be coming soon. So that's the family room. And what I'm going to do in this series, I'll probably be showing you as I go, kind of room by room. So the family room, the Christmas tree, look out for some shorts as well, some little snippets, the different rooms. But then that's how it's going to go. In the dining room, which is, as you know, I put a lot of effort in the dining room usually, and I have my little pergola kind of situation there with the copper and all that. I think I want to even extend further that Winter Wonderland. I took all the greenery that I had on my trees, on my 4-corner trees, and then I'm going to put, of course, a lot of snow, faux and also spray snow, as well as I want to put a lot of lights in those trees. and I also want to add more branches. So I'm going to go foraging again to get some more branches to create even more of a, almost like a foresty kind of feeling. I don't want to block the axis, but I might extend here and there, maybe in the back especially, because there's a lot of room in the back. So, and then I also want to use some of those same branches. I want to use it in the front yard. In the front yard, again, I want to carry on that kind of Winter Wonderland kind of theme. I have some deers, I have some trees that I've made with tomato cages. I want to make some more. So, so that's coming up. So that will be a separate video as well, just the outdoor. So, but for now, you know, look forward to the family room, dining room, and I do my master bedroom as well. So I have a few things for that as well to show you. I'll be sharing with you. But to get things rolling, I thought I'd share with you some of the things that I already bought. Some of the things, I went thrifting, and I also did, of course, some shopping in like Hobby Lobby and things like that. I didn't find too much there, but I'll share with you some of the thoughts that I have right now in terms of the things that I found thrifted. Okay, so let me start with this. You know, it's fun that sometimes you can buy florals at a thrift store. You never think of that, right? And you know, if you were to buy this, it's probably $7 at a Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I got it for $1 each, and it's a nice dark green. So I'm thinking I'll probably use this in one of my tables. Probably my, oh yeah, that's the other thing. You're looking for the coffee bar in the kitchen, also the so I'll probably do that. So those, you know, pretty nice kind of quality. So $1 each, can't complain. They also have these really pretty candle holders for $3.99. I love mercury glass. That's kind of a lot of what I look for my decor. It has a snow, no, it's a poinsettia, not a snowflake. But anyway, I thought this would be perfect for one of my tables. And again, it has a pair, so that's great. Always to get two, you know, especially because that's not very tall. I also found this cute little wintry scene. Not particularly have a place in mind for it. You know, it has a candle, but I'll find some place. You know, it's always nice. And that one was $5. $5 for that one. Then I also found this little sleigh, which looks like it was for flowers. I don't know if you can tell, but it had like a little insert, which I could take off easily. And this is $2.99. And I'm not gonna leave it silver because again, I'm more into the golds and to the antique golds and the metallics. So I definitely want to paint it gold and maybe make it more like a aged gold with maybe some bronzy kind of finishes to it, something like that. So that's what's happening, and I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it. I don't have a particular place, but we'll find something. You can also find ornaments, right? And again, I'm very particular because I already have a lot of gold ornaments and I have some kind of more, you know, white and things like that. So I definitely don't have black ornaments, and I thought it was important. I was able to find some black ornaments at, I think, Ross and Marshall's, and I'll show you those in a sec. But I know I also have a bunch of clear ornaments that I can color. And well, the plan is to do that technique that everybody's been doing with the paint and the baking soda. You would think I've done that before, but I hadn't tried it yet. So that's a good opportunity to do that, to kind of make black and maybe with some gold accents. Then I also found these at the thrift store. They're kind of a fun shape. There's kind of like a squatted globe in a way. So I'll be painting these because I think in order to bring the black element, I think it's important to do that, to have enough representation of each color. Now, in terms of kind of out of the blue things that I wasn't looking for, but I found, is they had a box of these little Christmas cards, Thomas Kincaid. And the cute thing about them, they're pop-up cards. And there's only 4 of them, and they come, I think they have the envelope in there somewhere. And they're so cute. They're all the same. That I thought, maybe I'll just use them for the tree. Or maybe use them for the decor here and there. It's like a little wintry scene. It is so cute. So I'm excited about these. And, you know, they have a little bit of glitter on them. Could always add more, you know. We'll see how I feel about that. So I have 4 of those little globes. So those are fun. And that whole pack was $1.99. So can't beat that, right? And then, speaking of unusual, I found this. Again, they still have some Halloween things out. And this is Halloween houses. And you would think, why are you looking for Halloween at Christmas time? Because I already have a bunch of Christmas village houses that I use for my table, for my dining room table, but I think it'd be nice to have a few more. These are actually treat boxes, but who's gonna know that, right? So I'm gonna turn these black little treat boxes into little white villages. So I'm gonna spray paint them probably because it's a little lighter. And I love that they have little windows, so you can easily put a little, lighting inside. So I think I'm gonna use this other places where I don't have houses. I'm thinking of doing something with my lanterns. You'll have to kind of stay tuned for that. But yeah, be on the lookout. Just think about what you need, not so much what color it is or what it looks like, because this is gonna be fun. And that's what there's a lot of them in here. I could probably save some for Halloween as well. Why not make a little village? The only thing is that I think they're all pretty identical. But yeah, there's 18 sheets. So that's a fun find. So, and then I mentioned to you that I wanted to do like sheet music, right? So at the thrift store, this in the fall that I like to go to, they had a lot of really old, sheet music. And the nice thing is, like, I don't even have to, make it look old. It already looks old. This is actually a little Christmas Carol book. This one doesn't look so old, but they have all kinds of very beautiful kind of, I love sheet music. I just think it's just pretty on its own. So this is probably what I'll use for the tree, maybe other places around. I just want to see the, the music notes. Some of the songs I've heard of. Ah, sweet mystery of life. This is Rhapsody in Blue. Some of them I've never heard in my life. In the Garden of My Heart, whatever that is. But again, it's already aged. It's really aged. And it's only $1.25 per sheet music, so it wasn't bad. And then because again, we're still doing some dark academia, I might keep some of the books. Maybe some of the books I'll put sheet music on them. Again, playing with all that. But I also thought it'd be fun to have some kind of books, Christmas books. I know that people do this, so I've kind of been inspired by that. And I love children's books anyway, and I thought it'd be fun to have some of these. So again, not 100% sure where I'm going to put him. Probably going to be in the family room, but not exactly how I'm going to, style them. But the idea is that they can sort of be seen, and kind of together with little candles or something. It could be really charming. And actually, one of them even has recipes. So definitely one of these could be for the kitchen. There's one of these has like a little bit of everything. It has music, has recipes, and stories. So I'm looking forward to reading some of those. This one from the heart. Yeah, this one is a really beautiful book. And it's all recipes and things like that. So that'd be a fun one for the kitchen. And of course I had to get the Polar Express from my hubby. And then Twice the Night Before Christmas. So a lot of kind of nice classic books, that I love to read anyway, the little children's books. So that's going to be part of the decor. I'm not going to tear this apart. I'm going to leave this intact because I really want them to be readable and all that. The only thing I'll probably destroy is a little bit of the sheet music. Now I also found this great blog that had beautiful vintage sheet music, Christmas sheet music specifically. I'm going to put the link below because you should check them out. If you like that kind of vintage look, these are gorgeous. And it's that kind of, where they have the sheet music and then they have illustrators on the top and on the bottom. And it's usually like a, like a pencil drawing almost. They're very simple, but they have a little color. They're really pretty. So I definitely want to use those. And for those, I'm going to use it in such a way that it showcases the name of the song, for instance. But I could definitely see those as like, you frame a little, which I already had done with one last year or 2 years ago, but now I can have more, like a little frame little thing with the music. That's all you need, Now, the other thing that's a little bit more out there, I started doing it last year, but I didn't finish it. I want to make a few more like art prints, for Christmas, but I'm cheap. I'm not going to spend only $34 on it. So this is the idea. The idea is to take those frames that I already have. I'm not even going to bother taking them apart. I want to just use the front of it. I don't necessarily need the glass or anything like that. And then I'm going to create some new art. I already have some, but I want to create some new art. But so this is what I'm going to use for one of them. Because it's good to have big art. I saw this gift bag. Where did I see this? I don't remember now. Oh, I think it was Walmart. And I thought it was very beautiful. And it goes right with my concept, right? So I want to cut this out and kind of put it in the frame. And hopefully the size will work. I'll have to maybe chop up some of it. But I thought it was really pretty. because this is a lot the vibe that I want, you know, the little trees and the snow and that kind of a thing. So that is the plan. Now, for starters, the first thing we're gonna have to do, besides setting up the tree, is doing some of the ornaments that are gonna go in the tree. So both the ornaments that are gonna be black are metallic, plus also figuring out how I wanna do my sheet music. And that's gonna be the first order of business. So if you wanna come see what I do with that, stay tuned. Okay, well, here getting ready to start painting my wall. Like I mentioned to you, this is the wall that I want to paint. It just goes up to there, and then the kitchen is a different color. So I'm gonna start prepping it, and hopefully I can get in one coat. I always say that. But this is the color I'm going for. It's a very rich kind of teal color, which will be kind of nice. It'll make this whole thing pretty cozy. You can see I've pulled out all my Christmas stuff. I'm getting ready for this, but the first step is going to be to paint this wall. Let me give you a little close-up of the color because it's different with the light coming from the door. You see that I had some damage. That's one of the reasons I want to paint it. Lesson is do not use cheapo command hooks from Dollar Tree, because those are the ones that messed up my wall. So now that's why I have to paint it. But hey, now I get to paint a different color. So yeah. Yeah, well, I finished painting the wall. I ended up using like a quart and a half because I did need to give a little second coat here and there. In fact, there's more touch-ups other places that I have to do. Don't look too closely at the ceiling because it was hard to get a good line. But anyway, so I really love the color. I can't wait to see it with the Christmas tree in front. It's gonna be a beautiful kind of impact. Next is Christmas tree. Okay, well, the wall has been painted. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I love that color. And it's a great contrast for the tree. So I set out the tree and I fluffed it because, you know, very important to fluff it. If you don't fluff it, it'll go like this. You know, who likes that, right? Anyway, so I'm going to run you through a few things that I do for my tree that may be a little bit different from what you did. One of the things that I already did is I added a set of lights on the more towards the interior that actually are randomly blinking. I'm having a hard time finding another set. I only have the one set, so I try to spread it out as much as possible, because otherwise, you know, you have the steady color of white lights, but it's kind of nice to have some movement. So I put that already. So now the next step for me is usually to do the ribbon. Now for this year, as you know, I've been doing more dark and moody things lately. So the big change I'm gonna do this year is that I'm gonna add black as my accent color. I was trying to look for another accent color. I may do teal as an accent color because that's what I've done in the past. I'm gonna play with it, or I'm gonna just leave it as black, gold, and metallic. So it'll be kind of pretty nice and elegant. So let's get started. Okay, these are the 3 basic ribbons, although you know they're not real ribbons, so they're a little bit different. This is that mesh thing, and I like to use that for the tree. It's kind of very gossamery. And this is, it's a garland, but it's a very different kind of garland. It's kind of a gold leaf kind of garland. So that's my second one. And then my third one, this is actually a ribbon, just very different. It's very mesh kind of looking ribbon, and it's kind of glittery. So they look really pretty on the tree. So that's the first thing I do, is put those on. So let's get started with those. And I like to keep kind of a diagonal, so it's not going to be, you know, horizontal, but more like diagonal coming down. Also, it helps you kind of extend it a little bit. And now that I have the overall shape, I play with it and I try to tuck it in so we can have a little bit more of like loops, you know, and things like that coming. But the fun thing about this ribbon is that it's very forgiving, and almost anything looks pretty darn good. Show you up close what I got so far. See, I'm leaving a lot of room in between rows because there's other things coming. I just want to have it somewhat distributed. But again, the idea is to you kind of tuck it in here and there, and it continues with that sort of like a diagonal pattern. And like here, we can make it a little lower so it's more diagonal. Okay, so let's do the next one. For the leaves, I don't have too many of these, so I definitely try to find kind of a strategic place to kind of showcase them. You know, for this one, let's put it a little lower, I think. There's a big section here, and it's sort of in the middle of the tree, so probably makes the most sense. Finally, let's do this ribbon. And again, this one is important to stretch it out because it covers quite a bit if you stretch it out. Okay, so here's what we got. See, I'm basically alternating the type of ribbons and garlands. And it's okay that you don't have it all everywhere, right? Because we're adding a lot more elements, so that's that. Okay, and before I get to my other ribbon, my black one, which I haven't decided yet how to do that, let me do my next part, which is the part probably, I haven't never seen anybody do this, so it's probably maybe just me. But you know how it's important to create depth on a tree, and oftentimes you can see all the way to the trunk, right? So it's important to kind of put your ornaments kind of deep in there. Most people use sprays or picks. So what I did is I created a spray. It's a combination of, you know, pine cones and florals and ribbon. And what I do is when there's just like a big branch like this, I basically tuck it in all the way. So it helps with that, you know, in one swoop, it's giving me a little bit of everything. It's giving me the florals, it's giving me the pine cones and the ribbon. The ribbon oftentimes comes all the way out, and it helps a lot covering those big gaps, especially if your tree has a lot of gaps. It's great for that. And actually it came up because I had one year we got this humongous tree, and I was thinking, how in the world am I going to decorate this huge tree? And I started making these, and then I've kept them and I'm using it for this. So that's kind of how the idea came about. You know, you gotta fluff them too because they get pretty messed up. But I kept them pretty neutral colors, so I can always change my accent color if I want to. But for the most part, I try to keep it to ivory and gold. And then, like I said, sometimes I put teal as an accent. This year will be more black. And then I try to distribute them. I have quite a few of these. You know, and I guess you leave them kind of hanging out. So, just kind of fix your wire ribbon with your fingers. Give it a little bit of a little curling iron kind of look. And I try not to put them in a straight row, but more like, you know, think of diagonals, right? Not put two at the same level, right next to each other. It really dresses up the tree really nicely and fills it up pretty fast too. Okay, well, like, see, I put that one sideways, you know, like I said, they're just hanging on the very edge. But again, there's a lot of depth to them because the ribbon goes all the way to the inside, and pulls out. So I put them everywhere, and they all have similar material, so there's a lot of continuity there and repetition of that design element. You see how this basically goes all the way in, and you can kind of see one there how it goes all the way into the tree. So kind of that's the idea. It's really great for covering when you have big gaps. Put it all together, see how I like it. These are the teal ones that I've used in the past, and again with my new teal wall, they look pretty. Just trying to figure out. I also got some new black ornaments, plus I'm gonna make a few more too. So I'm trying to figure out whether the teal works, or do we do it without the teal and keep it just gold and black. I love the teal. It seems like it's either teal or black. I don't think I could do both. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start with that and see how I feel after the whole thing is done. I'm just attached to the teal just because I've used them. I've used them most of the time, almost every year. So let's see what happened with just the gold and black for now. I chose to loop it up the gold one, which is a new way for me to do it. And I chose not to cut it just because I was like to give myself options on what if in the future I want to do something else with the ribbon. It's better to have it in one piece. I know the lighting is not the best right now, but yeah, I'm liking it so far. Now for the black. For the tree top, very excited to make a big bow with my velvet ribbon. And I'm running streamers of black down, like curling them up and letting them fly down. And so that's an interesting look. But of course I gotta integrate some of that black down here. So I'm gonna try maybe bows. I'm gonna see how that looks like. But it's interesting. It looks better in person on the camera though, I must say, but let's keep going. Okay, all the little black bows are on. Looks like it's ready for a black tie affair. So now the last thing is to put some ornaments. So and I have some more that are coming later, but for now I'm gonna put the ones that I have. I also got these at either Ross or Marshall's, one of those places, or Burlington, remember. This one I got thrifty. There was a box of 4. Actually, there were 2 boxes, but I only bought 1. And then I also got these at, I think, Ross, which I thought were very nice, made in India. And this one was really nice and special, and that was $2.99. Thrifting. Okay, well, I'm going to show you some of the things that I'm going to use for this, make these ornaments. I have these like I showed you earlier, plus I also have a lot of the traditional round ones, which again I had from before. I also have this old set. I never used this, so I don't know if these things are even dried up, but it comes with the base coat, the adhesive, the antiquing, the sealer, a little bit of everything. So that'll be fun to try as well, to kind of do some gold leafy kind of ornaments. And then I also have, this is just liquid gold leaf, so that's going to be fun for accents. I also have this thing that is like a relief, so you kind of put that, and then you can also have the gold leaf stick to it, so that's going to be fun to play with. And of course I've got some extra paints. You know, I got some glitter paint. This is champagne. This is actually a little kind of metallic bronze, and I got what is this called? Let's just call it gold. And then anyway, so a lot of little different things. Plus, of course, I have a lot of glitter, and I got some really fine glitter, you know, for this or whoever, who knows what else. And of course, chalk paint. Okay, I was able to get them all here so that as they, you know, as they dry, I can prop them in here. I know that some of these are pretty dirty because I had to use some snow or something on these. And then the caps are over here, and I'm gonna try to get some gold spray paint if I don't have some to spray those. So, but for now, let's work on these. Now, like I say, I'll do different techniques. But the first thing is going to be to clean them up. Okay, I'm going to start with the good old black paint with baking soda. So, got my baking soda here. So, I'm going to mix chalk paint. I don't know if other people mix. It probably doesn't have to be chalk paint, but that's what I'm going to try. Get that kind of a stone effect. And from what I've seen, doesn't seem to be like a specific amount that you have to put on this thing. Oh, that might be too much. So it's kind of play by ear. Mine is very lumpy. You can tell I don't use it very much for baking. Okay, so adhesive might still work. It's pretty liquid. Okay, so I'm gonna try putting some on one of them, and putting some of these thing on, and I think I have to let it dry. Oh, it's very liquid. And then we'll stick some of the gold leaf on it. And now let's just play with the liquid leaf. What happens if I put it straight up? That's a fun one. Okay, I've let them dry, and I realized that maybe I do need a second coat. They're a little streaky, not at all what I was hoping. I mean, they feel grainy, but they're very streaky. So I think I'm gonna give them a second coat. Well, I continue to experiment, and the foil, the gold foil doesn't want to work, but I recently bought these and I haven't used them yet. They're more your typical gold leaf. Again, it's not real gold, but, and they work much better. It is so fun. It is really kind of like magic. This one is super sticky. And it's extremely forgiving. And I have a soft brush here that I can start burnishing it down. Look, this was champagne gold. They have different kinds of gold you get. And then I'll put a finish, because I think if you don't protect it with a coat, it will actually kind of probably fall off. Okay, so my balls have all dried overnight. So yeah, this came out pretty textured. And the second coat was definitely needed. I love my gold leaf ones. They're so pretty. I don't think I'm gonna do anything more to those other than put in their little the little hooks. I spray painted these with just spray gold. I was wondering if I needed to gold leaf them, but I'll see when I put them together if I feel like it's necessary for my liquid gold leaf. Now and then these ones, I went ahead. These are the ones that had the dots. I thought the dots were a little too contemporary for my tree feel anyway, but I thought it might be fun to do the splashes of the gold leaf, and that's kind of what I did, and I really like it. I'm gonna leave it like that. Now it's a matter of finishing all my black ones, because my black ones, I definitely want to play with several things. I'm gonna try to do some bronzing on it, some gold leafing on it, so different kinds of things. Okay. And then at least one of my first thoughts here is to apply it with a sea sponge. I have a sea sponge and a regular cellulose sponge, because I definitely want to pick up on the texture, and I want to, do more of a model effect. And we'll go from there, see what happens. Okay, I did all the painting on all these. Now it's just a matter of waiting them to dry. As you can see, some of them I put glitter, some of them I just put the gold leaf, little flecks that I had. So I did a little bit of everything. Some of them I left more black because I was realizing I was putting too much paint and not showing enough black. So now after they dry, I will hang them on the tree. Okay, I started to integrate the music into my tree. And this is sort of kind of the thought. I wanted it to be more like I don't know, like this. But it's a little easier to do it like that. And since I'm using the real sheet music, it has sheet music on both sides, which is actually, that one doesn't, but anyway, that's a good thing. So that's kind of where I'm going with it. Let's see how it looks when I add more. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. So see, I'm doing like a very rough accordion. But I'm not doing it, I'm kind of doing it diagonal, because I think it'll flare out better that way. Okay, so it gives me this kind of thing, and then that's how I'm going to tuck it in. That's the idea. Okay, so I placed the new ornaments on the tree. There is one. I also placed this little cards I told you about. I added some little snow glitter paint on it. That's another one of the new ones. Yeah, I'm saving some also for the mantle. I think that will be a good way of integrating the two things. But yeah, they look nice and happy in their new home, and they blend right in with everything else. That's a little polka dot one. So next, I think we can move on to the rest of the family room. Okay, so this is the idea for this year. That's a little different. I had this on my tree last year, and also on my garland at the French door, at the door to the patio. And I want to kind of put them like they're coming from the ceiling, like it's snowing, you know, with beautiful icicles. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. I got some of the little command hooks, which I have to go get, and I'm gonna do it with thread, because as you know, thread is a lot less sparkly than fishing line. It's hard to see it, so it looks more floating. So let's see how these are the ones I'm gonna try to use. The little tiny ones. I've never used them in a ceiling, but I know I've seen other people try them. They're really small, and there's 40 of them in here. So I'm hoping to use them all. We'll see how it goes. Put it around different heights. And I think I'm gonna do it around the tree. I don't want to do the entire family room. Probably just do it around the tree. I think it'll look really pretty. Okay, I put all the little strips on each of the hooks, and come to find out I did it wrong. The instructions says to put it on the wall first. Didn't make a lot of sense to me, so I think I'm fine like this. So what I'm gonna do, because I think it'll be easier to hook something that's low from the ceiling than something that's way up high. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a long thread on each of these, and then put them on the ceiling, and then they'll be easier to tie. See, like I'm doing it really long. God, this is like a yard almost. And then I'll go from there to tie those, because that way I'm not like having to raise my arms for that long. So, and I definitely think, because of the way this hook is, it's definitely helpful to do a full knot, not just a loop, but actually to knot it. So I'll get to it and I'll let you know how it goes. Here's the view of my icicles are looking so far. Okay, let me give you a look of how the tree is turned out. I added some of my fake presents that are great, you know, as a holder before you have real presents. I made those last year, I believe. And here is the tree with its gold, black ribbon, the sheet music, and all the icicles on the ceiling. I will also share with you here the garland that I put above the French doors. I have a separate video that I did last year for that, so I did not do a new video this year, but I'll make sure I link that garland video so you can take a look of how I created that. But here's the tree. So this is our part 1. For part 2, we'll continue working on the rest of the family room, including the mantle and some of the other things that I'll show you. But for now, here is a great view of the tree and how it turned out.